What's up, world? Welcome to a new episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am BrandonJaneau, and like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere, it's BrandonJaneauShow, man. Hope you guys enjoy this episode, man. This is Bleed Purple and Gold. This is when I talk about the LSU Tigers. This today was week 3 of college football season. Um, and they played against Mississippi State in Mississippi State. Um, Before I get into the game and what I felt about it, Brandon Janeau Show on all podcast platforms. Like I said, YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show, social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Brandon Janeau Show. Let's get into it. Like I said, man. So tonight, this is Bleed Purple and Gold. Like I said, LSU played against Mississippi State in Mississippi State today. This was the game I was waiting for. This was a game that I was truly, truly waiting for to see, particularly where LSU was uh, with pretty much the game and the game plan and where they were mentally coming into this game. Of course, Florida State game. Uh, we showed up in the first half. Second half was a completely, totally different story. We just could not match Florida State, which, by the way, they struggled today with Boston College. So shit happens. Um, Last week I said it after the Grambling State game that that's Grambling, man. Like you're supposed to overpower Grambling. Grambling is not that damn good. Um, I wanted to see them in the SEC play. Well, I got a chance to see them today, and man, oh fucking man, they were great. Lord, oh Lord, Lord, Lord Jesus. This was a this was an ass whooping. Like it was a ass whooping. 41-14 was the final score. Um, yeah, this was this was different. This is what LSU looks like. This is the LSU team that everybody had coming into the season, and this is what I kept saying. LSU needed to lose. They needed to lose. They needed to feel a loss first, so the hype train could stop. And soon as they have now lost to Florida State, I think we finally have found LSU. Thank the Lord. Um, Putting up 72 points against Grambling is one thing. Putting up 41 against Mississippi State, who's actually a really good defense, and have one of the best running backs in the nation, is a whole nother fucking animal. LSU was beating them down. Malik neighbors, damn kid. I'd said last week in the Grambling State game that I think uh, Jaden Daniels has found his number one. Well, Malik Neighbors has completely bunked that stereotype because he went off today, man. He literally had almost 200 damn receiving yards in the first fucking half. Like that was an incredible game. Like that is you ain't never seen a game like that. Jaden Daniels have damn near perfect rating passing the ball. I think he only missed like 4 or 5 throws this whole fucking game. He threw 2 touchdowns. I think he ran for like 3. Like it was an incredible game. We showed off who we were with the running game. The offensive line finally picked up and kind of got themselves going. Um, they gave up a couple sacks, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna be honest, man. The game I saw today, the defense also, defense of LSU, that was the defense that I expected them to be for most of the damn year. And I said this, man, when they had to come into the SEC play, this was the game that I really wanted to see. I wanted to see how they would look in SEC play. Well, they look ready. They look like a team. Um, I don't know what LSU is going to do, and I hope this is true. What they were talking about on the broadcast that, um, who I had a lot of hope and prayer into, and as uh Perkins, number 4, the linebacker. I said, let's see how he looks. First week they played him in a lot of like slot offense because well, Florida State didn't have a lot of third downs in that damn game, especially long third downs in that game. So this game, you saw really what he's gonna be. So the first 2 downs, he's gonna pretty much play out in the perimeter, and then if it's a long third, he's gonna come down and actually start to pressure the quarterback, which is pretty cool. I understand that. That's kind of like the Micah Parsons they did in Penn State and what they're doing now in the NFL with him. So I've seen it before with these types of linebackers that are so good at everything. They need to teach them how to play in all types of spots. You can do that today against Mississippi State because it's Mississippi State gives a shit about that. But I think we play UAB next. I think yeah, University of Alabama, Birmingham. I think that's who we play next. I can't remember, but by the time we get back into really a SEC game or something like that, man, I expect LSU to be back to where we thought they would be. This defense, man, shit. Until the end of the first half, Mississippi State literally had 7 fucking yards offensively for the entire first half until like they broke off a massive run that was 52 yards. That was most of Mississippi State yards came off of one fucking run. Like in the first half. Them dudes had like the possession. The possession was all LSU. They dominated this team. They dominated Mississippi State. I wanted to see if they could get to that point. Fuck, they did it. They are there. They are. I'm not ready to just say 100, but we finally got a chance to see all the running backs kind of get their shine. Diggs, Jackson, all of these running backs, we finally got a chance to see them get their shine, get their opportunities. Mason Taylor was not out there today, which I can't wait to see how this offense looks. That type of offense looks with him out there because of his dynamic ability to get open and do things as a tight end. Really just another receiver, but the freshman tight end kind of struggled a little bit in certain pass situations. Um, I'm gonna be honest, man. That LSU that I saw today, if they stay that way this whole season, and that is a massive question. But if that's the team that we're gonna see for the rest of the year, excuse me, with the running, with the offense and defense, and the special teams didn't really screw up today. If that's the team we're gonna see for the whole damn year, and here's the thing, we got a schedule that we could kind of run through, SEC wise, um, SEC West wise, Alabama's struggling. They don't have a quarterback. They are now starting a freshman. They don't know who the fuck their quarterback is. That defense can't hold on too long. That team is struggling, man. Alabama's struggling, and I think they will get their stuff together at some point. But that's a scary thing because they could snowball fast, especially next week. I think they play I think they play Ole Miss or they play somebody. But by next week, when they start to really get into SEC play, because I think they start SEC play next week. Once they start playing teams that can actually match them, like with the physicality and the ability, like Texas did last week, if they find a team that can outmatch them, they're gonna lose, and they're gonna lose fast. So to me, right now, the only team I fear in the SEC West is probably Ole Miss. And I know it sounds crazy, but Ole Miss is the only team I fear in the SEC West in that particular division. SEC West, Ole Miss is the only team I fear. Ole Miss has the quarterback, the ability. They always have the weapons. They always find a way to beat us. I think we played them in. I want to say LSU this year. I hope we play them in Baton Rouge. That would be an interesting game. Also, Auburn. Auburn's always a tricky one too for us. We always kind of like fall into that trap. But we got a lot of games where we play Missouri this year. We play Missouri. That's the other SEC East team. They play out the SEC East. Of course, we always play Florida every year. Then we played them in Gainesville this year, so we play them in Gainesville. That's a questionable game. Of course it is. Texas A&M, of course, is always lurking, but I don't fear Texas A&M like that. Like I said, the only team in the SEC West I fear is literally Ole Miss. Maybe Auburn, Texas A&M if they really are about that shit. But other than that, if LSU plays like this like they play like this moving forward, LSU is going to be in the SEC West, the SEC West champions, and on top of that, they're going to play Georgia, who also struggled today. And I don't know if Georgia has that same type of caliber of defensive players like they used to. The thing about Georgia was they could rotate their starters in and out. What I mean by not rotate them in like the game, I'm talking about like rotate them into the next line of just superstars. But you lose a Jalen Carter, you lose a Kellen Ringo, you lose Kobe Dean a couple years ago, you lose Jordan Davis a couple years ago. You lose all these guys. Even the stability at quarterback with Snatch and Bennett, who's not great, but he was something there, and you never really had a receiving core. Your whole team has been based off of tight ends and running. If you can stop the running and the tight ends, you can actually beat Georgia this year. And I think Georgia is actually very vulnerable. I said this on I Bleed Sports. I'm not comfortable with the SEC this year. I think the SEC is very catchable. You can actually get them. South Florida almost beat Alabama today. Like shit happens. Like South Carolina could have beat Georgia today if they would have actually tried to actually continuously run the ball, which is one thing you need to do against Georgia. You got to continue to run the ball. You cannot just stop. You got to keep going. Tennessee's right now playing Florida, who Florida isn't that damn great this year. So it's an interesting thing. Like I said, like this is a very interesting thing. The way LSU dominated today, they might be the best team in the SEC. Like I'm trying not to give that hype up. I'm not trying to get the hype up again. But when you play like you played against an SEC team who has a lot of high hopes, Mississippi State, compared to like I said, week one is one thing. Week one was such a fucking toss up. You couldn't even judge it. The way they got blown out, it happens. But do I think LSU's that team I saw today is more closer to what I really thought LSU could be? Yes. I was very like, there we go. So I'm looking forward to it. Next week, I don't know who we play. I think we play University of Alabama Birmingham. I'm not sure. I gotta look. But next week I will be doing purple and gold, bleed purple and gold next Saturday as well. Until then, I am BrandonJaneau. LSU 41, Mississippi State 14. And that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.